come on official work. The government has invited me to give an opinion on a lake in your city. That is a lake in my state. You know, when you do something like that, you also feel satisfied. When you do something for your home, you feel more happy. When somebody invites and tells you do the work, then it makes you all more careful and responsible. You know, I have come here to communicate to you all the importance of science. How the science helps you in building your career and also to lead a happy life. And I have been working in Western Ghats for the last 2.5 decades. You know, my agenda is to make sure that everyone has clean air, water and environment. ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನಿಸಿದೆ? You can raise your hand. Or how many want in how many do not understand Kannada? Okay. Okay. No problem. How many understand English? Which means 100%. Isn't it? So let me opt for English. Somewhere in between I'll bring Kannada so that my friends from Kannada also will be happy. Okay? You know, when we talk about clean air and water and environment, you need to manage the system. You do not get the system in a clean air, water or this one without managing. You know, how do you manage? If you maintain the integrity of the ecosystem, then you are managing a system. Let us try to understand what is this integrity means. You know, like you have 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 legs. You can do many things. Suppose if one is missing, you cannot do some other thing. Like that, now, you know, the lake is being beautified. See, what is the point in doing beautification if you do not improve the internal system? See, you youngsters might be monitoring the water quality of this lake. I have seen some of the publications of Professor Vijay Kumar. Yesterday I had an opportunity to see the publication that is in the almost final stage by Professor Shankar about birds of Gulbarga. Which might get published soon. So, you know, there is such a vast knowledge. And that knowledge, when you acquire, then you will also start thinking, okay? And, you know, some of you come from a very diverse background. At your home, people might tell, your relatives might tell, you should earn more. Isn't it? Earning more is good. But if you are knowledgeable and if you earn, you will be very satisfied. If you just make money, then tomorrow you will be worried whether income tax fellows will come or anything. But I have not seen anybody coming near our house to search for what we have. Because everything is stored here. The knowledge is there. With that knowledge, we can convert that into the wealth. You know, I get the invitation from varying places. Sometimes I find it difficult to say yes to everybody. You know, how do I say yes or no to the people? If somebody invites me, if I cannot go, I will say my charge is X amount per hour. Do you know how much I charge per hour? Do you know? For industry? Can you guess? One number, any one of you. Elepa. Huh? Huh? 3 lakhs. Are you sure? Do you know what is lakhs? Huh? why I am telling you is that I charge about 75,000 per hour. And that is the money I use it for my environment education program. I take that money to schools. I have set up the water testing labs in various schools in Karnataka, where there is no money for setting up the water chemistry lab. Some of the rural school doesn't have the thing. Understanding that gap, I thought we should have that. Okay? Now coming back to keeping the environment clean and adequate water and air. One is, if you have water, there is a prosperity. If you have clean water, you know that how happy your mother at home. As a girl, some of you would have struggled to get the water every day morning. If you are not from well-to-do family, you know that getting a bucket full of water, how much struggle you have to undergo. So that is the situation some of you are facing. My agenda is to make sure that everyone gets water. Let us see how we can get the water. So before that, I will also give you a simple lesson, how I teach. When you look at this, this is a simple food chain. You all know the Aharda circle. In a food chain, in a water body, or in a terrestrial ecosystem, you have, the producer producing the food, using sun energy, which is eaten by the next level, herbivore, which is eaten by the next level, carnivore, and then finally, whatever is left in the system is converted into elemental form by bacteria and fungi. Bacteria and fungi does such a wonderful job. When they convert into elemental form, the organic fraction, there is no waste in the system. In nature there is no waste. Where do you see waste? Where do you see waste? I am asking a question. Please respond.
Human beings.
Huh?
Human beings.
You will see waste where waste fellows are there. Who are these waste fellows? They have so much liking for plastic. When they want to drink, they will drink plastic. When they want to eat, they will eat plastic. They'll go to the hotel, get idli and sambar in a hot idli and sambar in a polythene bag. And who are these fellows? My waste fellows. They are very busy people. They say, I can't carry the tiffin carrier from home, but I want to feed my children. When we analyzed, why I am criticizing this thing, always, science gives you the answer. We analyze what is the water quality of the water in this plastic water or in a polythene bag, the sambar or idli. We found that there are dioxin. Dioxins are a carcinogen. I am sure environmental science students know carcinogen, which introduces cancer. That means every time when we carry idli and sambar or kebab in the resort, we are giving our children cancer. Should we do that? This is the thing. That is where you need to learn from nature. Nature is the best teacher. The simple technology, bioremediation or phytoremediation, you can learn from the bacteria and fungi, how they do that. That is how we have the bioremediation experiments. Some of you would have tried the bacteria and fungi for remediation. Okay? So, now let us look at from there the human world to the real world. When you look at the earth, all of us have only one earth. One earth, the health of one earth decides the fate of all citizens on the globe, in the globe. Now, how many species are there on the earth? Our literature says about the 8 to 12 million species are there. See, that way, if you look at our knowledge, what we have inherited from our elders, we knew that how many species are there. Species means prabheda, varieties, okay? Now in the science we have estimated about 1.3 million species. And out of 1.3 million species, the medicinal properties of the species we know is only a fraction of it, 2 or 3%. That means there is a lot more to do. You know, as a youngster, if you assess what is the phytochemical properties of these plants and animals, you are doing a wonderful job. For that you don't have to be doctor, but you can have the medicine for which doctors can use. You know what doctors do, even 1940 medicine only they will be giving the thing. At least you can come up with a new formulation. So that is where, you know, youngsters who walk the path of science, you can do the innovation. When you do innovation, you can serve the humanity. That's what should be the thing. Don't think I am doing only BSc or MSc. Today, science is required. Taking science to the doorstep of the school is our agenda. That's what we are trying to do. And let's look at my home. I work in Western Ghats. You know, my home is Western Ghats, Pakshima Ghats. You know, from Kerala to Gujarat is my home. That's why wherever I go, I just walk into somebody's house. I don't go to hotel. Doing PhD, you know, I spent 3 years in the field, but never went to the hotel. And that made me not to go to hotel. Even today I avoid. See, I am in Gulbarga. People want to take me to 5-star hotel, but I said I am more comfortable with the university guest house, where the food is given with the affection. You know, you go to the guest house, you will see that, you will feel that. Family is running the guest house, but they do the thing. In fact, I was surprised. They asked me, they yesterday evening, what do you want to eat in the next day morning? He said, you prepare whatever you can, but no spicy. Don't put too much of chili. Our stomach will not tolerate that. Let Gulbarga people eat the chilies what I have not eaten, I said. And then I was surprised. They did a good dosa yesterday. That can happen only when people have the feeling for the others. When you don't have the feeling, you will not come with that kind of thing. See, otherwise, guest house caretaker, why should he worry about me? But he has the feeling for the guests. That is Aditi Devo Bhava. That is what makes the difference. Now coming back to the Western Ghats, my home. Let us see what is the diversity of plants and animals are there, where it is. You know, across, latitude and longitude, X and Y coordinates. Western Ghats start from 8 degree latitude to 22 degree latitude. I won't ask questions. Later I will ask something. But now this simple thing I will handle it myself. Now let us look at where on the earth we have the highest number of plants and animal species. When you do that latitudinal gradient, you know, plants and animal species are highest at 8 to 14 degree latitude. You know, 8 to 14 degree latitude corresponds to Kerala, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu part of Western Ghats. You know, we all are lucky, we are born in Karnataka. Similarly, the youngsters from Kerala are lucky, they are born in Kerala. And these regions are rich in diversity of plants and animals. You might ask, what is the use of plants and animal diversity? When you have varieties, you have varieties of food. And because of varieties of food, you have variety of medicine. And because of variety of medicine, you have the immunity in your body. You know, when COVID happened, who are the people who died? Huh? The people who didn't have the immunity died. You know, all these pizza fellows were falling like pizzas. But in my Western Ghats region, people were not dying because the kind of food they eat, no, the immunity they were getting it. You know, as a youngsters, you should also take a diverse food and your brain will work. When your brain works, you will do wonderful job. Okay? Now, for that, I need to protect Western Ghats, isn't it? When I have such a rich diversity, I should protect it. If I have to protect, I have to manage. How should I manage? One is, I have to maintain physical integrity and chemical integrity. Physical integrity means I should not allow people to alter In the name of beautification, no, they want to remove all the natural entity. I don't want to allow that. Then chemical integrity. In the name of urbanization, we let the sewage into the lake, untreated sewage. That will alter the chemical integrity. We should not allow that to happen. When you don't allow that, the species will thrive there. Biological integrity is maintained. See, biological integrity is dependent on physical and chemical integrity. The way your body has a physical and chemical parameter, your biological parameters are also linked. Okay? Now, let me take you to the second topic, water and biodiversity. Okay? You know, how many of you do not want water? All of you want water, no? But I'll show you. See, when I was of your age, I used to see in my study area water. Today, I don't see water there. What has happened? Can you guess? Huh? Due to low rainfall. Okay. Rainfall has not changed. Rather, rainfall has increased. See, if you see this, no, what do you see? There is a forest, water is there. There is removal of forest, water is not there. Okay? Now, let us, this, everybody understand. Now, as a scientist, my job is to quantitatively explain this. See, how the land is covered, that decides the ecosystem function. You know what are ecosystem functions? You would have studied water cycle, hydrological cycle, nutrient cycle, biogeochemical cycle, carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle, etc. You all know water cycle. Huh? If you answer correctly, I will give another analogy, okay? Somebody can help me in what is water cycle? I want answer. Hey, ನೀನು ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಅಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ನೀನು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋ ಕೆಲವು ಸತಿ ತಪ್ಪು ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ನೀನು ಬೇಜಾರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಡ ಹೇಳಿ ಯಾರಾದರೂ ವಾಟರ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವಾ ಹಾಂ ಹೇಳೋಣ Wonderful. Some components of the water cycle, she said, evaporation, condensation, precipitation, infiltration. I was giving a talk like this in Andhra Pradesh. I asked what is water cycle. One fellow got up. Probably Shankar will tell the same story. He told me, sir, you see outside. I saw outside. I thought it is raining. It was not raining. He said, sir, you see outside, people are carrying water pot on bicycle. When you carry water on cycle, it becomes water cycle. No, you all laughed, no? But you know how painful it was to me? I was not addressing school kids. I was addressing a group of faculty. About 45 are faculty. What did I do? I just said, thank you very much. I walked out of the room. I said, I am unfit to take a class here for this kind of people. They are all jnanis. I should not remove their jnana so much. Then when I went out, some of the people came to me and said, sir, you should not have reacted like this. So then I felt, yes. They said that because of one bad apple, you should not have, there are remaining 44 are good apples. Then I said, if that is true, I am sorry for the reaction, but I will do one thing. Today I will go back to Bangalore. Since your program is 15 days, I will come back in my own money and I will take the class. Then after 10 days, when I had calmed down, I travelled to Hyderabad. I took a class. I said one condition, my bad apple fellow should not be in my class. And he was kept out. And I took a class. So that means, majority want to learn. Just because of that one bad fellow, the entire class environment get destroyed. You know, other 98% of people lose the opportunity to learn because of this one fellow. You know, that arrogance we should remove. Now coming back to my subject, I'll take you to river basin. This river originates at Sharavati Bay. This is Sharavati river. It originates in Ambutirtha at Shivamogga, traverses 128 km, joins the ocean in the Arabian Sea in Uttar Kannada district. Now what did we do? We constructed a dam here to store water to generate electricity. Now when you look at this, see, one side of the river has a dense network of stream, the other side do not have the network. You know, that change has happened because of the construction of the dam. Why it happened? You know, there were 179 villages were there in the where the dam has come. The villagers were forcefully taken out. You know, they were doing wet cultivation. Wet cultivation means they were growing the paddy, they were growing sugar cane, and they were put in a dry belt. You know, they could the rehabilitation. But these farmers could survive there. What did they do? They waited till the reservoir construction is over. Then 1965 they came back to this region. They occupied the forest here, converted forest into agricultural land. Today, one portion has a dense forest like this, other side has the degraded catchment. You know, this region. Now, what changes have happened if you want to understand? See, you are all students of science. You know, without science, nothing works. No water. That's what comes evident. Now, if you want to see what changes have happened, let us take rainfall data. We have 123 years of rainfall data. You know, divide that rainfall data into two time periods, 1901 to 64, 65 to today. You know, 1901 to 1964, this entire region was receiving the rainfall of 3,000 to 4,500. From 1965 onward, that is after constructing a dam, one portion still receives 3,000 to 4,500. There is no decrease in rainfall. But other side started getting rainfall of 1,700 to 1,900 millimeter. You know, earlier I was getting rainfall of 3,000 to 4,500. Now one portion gets 3,000 to 4,500, other portion I don't get it. That is mainly because one portion I have converted the forest into the barren area. Now to understand this, let us go to the micro level. You know, there are tributaries. Each tributary will find out what is the forest cover and the rainfall. See, now when you look at the tributary, these are on the eastern side, these are on the western side. You can see there are black polygons are there. You can make out that, okay? So now each polygon, what is the forest cover, rainfall we'll see. On the eastern side, forest cover is 30%, rainfall is 1,776. But on the western side, you see forest cover is 65%, rainfall is 4,800. Or the forest cover is 60%, rainfall is 4,400. Which means if there is a forest, you will have rainfall. Okay. Now you might get good rain, but how much water is there in your well or stream that decides your fate. You know, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಾವಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಜರಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ತಿಂಗಳು ನೀರಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆದಾಯ ಮತ್ತು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜನಜೀವನ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಅವಲಂಬಿತ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. To understand that, we did a small experiment. What is the experiment we did? We put a sensors in the underlying layers. You know, ಮಳೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ನೀರು ಹಿಂಗುತ್ತೆ. See, water when it rains, it infiltrates, it fills the zone called saturated zone, groundwater zone. This is a zone, when you dig a well, no, you get a white soil. You would have seen that. That zone is a saturated zone. Then above that you have shadow zone. Rocks and vacant spaces are there. Then the topsoil. See, only after filling this zone, you will see water flowing in the stream. Okay? Now, where all we did the experiment, we took the catchment which has a native species forest, natural forest with a diversity of plants and animals. The other one is urban. The third one is a monoculture plantation. The fourth one is agriculture catchment. You know, in the catchment area, agriculture is practiced. We monitored for 36 months, that is to understand seasonal variation. One season to other season, there is a variation. Summer you get less rainfall or no rainfall. Monsoon you have rainfall. Okay, there is a variability. Then year to year there is a variability. Last year you saw good rain throughout the Karnataka. This year there is no rain. So that means year to year variability also you have to understand. That's why we took 3 years of rainfall data. Okay, so 3 years of this monitoring. Then we graded the streams as A, B, C, D. Like your marks, no? A means throughout the year water is available. B means 9 months. C means 6 months. D means 4 months. Only during monsoon. Let us look at where this A, B, C, D kind of streams occur. See, the streams are perennial. That means 12 months water. When the catchment has a forest cover more than 60%, that too of native species. When we convert the forest into monoculture plantation of acacia, eucalyptus, etc., it becomes 8 to 6 months. When we degrade the catchment with a forest cover or a vegetation cover less than 30%, you have water only during the monsoon. So now do you see that linkage between the vegetation and the water? Do you agree? How many of you disagree with this? None. Okay. Now, let us see how much water goes in the underlying layer. Our experiment shows wherever forests are there, 50 to 60% of the water gets infiltrated into the underlying layer. 50 60% ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಳೆ ನೀರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಹಿಂಗಿದ ನೀರು ಮಳೆ ಆದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಸಮ್ಮರ್ ಬೇಸಿಗೆ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ಚಳಿಗಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜರಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ಬಾವಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕುತ್ತೆ. So that is how throughout the year 12 months you have the water. Now in this region, not much infiltration happens. You don't have the water during the post monsoon. Okay. We also looked at how much water people require for agriculture, horticulture, etc. People require water for growing crops. People require water for the drinking, etc. We quantify in each village how much water is required. You see, wherever forests are there is lot of water, but it meets the demand, which is demand is quite high. The people grow the cash crop, etc. Whereas here, where forests are not there, people don't have much water. There is a demand, there is a scarcity of water. Now to summarize what I said so far, see, this is the region where 12 months water is available. Green are the 8 months, yellow is 6 months, this is 4 months. You just look at the forest cover, you overlay this on this. Wherever forests are there, you see 12 months water is there. We launched the satellites way back in 70s, before your birth. I was there, Professor Shankar was there, Vijay Kumar was there. So we all enjoyed the satellite launching like now you enjoyed the moon, no? So like that we enjoyed. But advantage of that, we were taking photographs from that time. That was, those photographs helps in assessing what is the forest cover, agriculture cover in the region. So now that's how we calculated this. The picture is worth million words. You cannot manipulate. So now that is what we have done. See, wherever forests are there, 12 months water is there. Wherever forest is not there, only 4 months water is there. Now you might ask, so what? You see that farmers in this region, if they earn 1,54,000 rupees per acre per year, farmers in this region, they earn only 32,000 rupees per acre per year. Which is higher? 1,54,000 is higher or 32,000 is higher? 1,54,000. And more importantly, since the water is available throughout the year, farmers can grow cash crop. Paddy, sugarcane, areca they can grow. Here farmers can grow only one crop. And another interesting thing, since some of you are from Department of Zoology, the pollinators are abundant and diverse here. Because of pollinators are abundant and diverse, pollination become efficient. When pollination becomes efficient, yield of the crop is higher. See, the farmers in this region, for example paddy, if they get the yield of 12 to 16 quintals per acre, farmers in this region, they get only 6 to 8 quintals per acre. So now you see the benefit of the pollinators. How many of you have learnt about pollination services of the ecosystem? See, that's one thing you should study. Take up where forest is there. In the nearby village, how the pollination happens, how the productivity happens, agriculture productivity. You know, you are doing greatest service to the nation. You know, the farmers will know the importance of the pollinators. They will not use pesticide. See, when pollinators are there, the nature takes care of all the pests. But we do not want to do that. We will kill everything with a pesticide. Okay? Then we also map the diversity of plants and animals. You know, this gives various dots indicate the tigers, sloth bear, etc. You see, wherever water is there for 12 months, these animals are there. Four-legged or no-leg animals are there. Okay? And this region where water is available only during 4 months, only two-legged animal is there, you know, fighting for water. So you can make out where two-leg fellows and four-leg fellows are there. Okay? Now, see, as the students of zoology department and environmental science, you see what are the other thing you can find out when you do the study. See, we discovered 2 species of fish. These are very tiny. Schistura genus, Schistura sharavati, Schistura nagodiensis. Because they were in the stream, Sharavati or Nagodi. That's how we named them as the Schistura sharavatiensis. We didn't name after us. You know, some people have the habit of putting their name. We didn't do that. Okay? But the importance of this is, it has a medicinal property. It gives it is used for respiratory diseases curing. That means, if I want that fish to cure the respiratory diseases like asthma, bronchitis, etc., I need to have this fish. Now, I thought that okay, because I am a scientist and since I am in Bangalore, no, my brain is also corrupted. I thought I can make big money. I took this species of fish to Bangalore. I cultured in my lab, thinking that okay, if I multiply that, I can make a big money because of the medicinal property. But you know, these animals are more smart. They didn't have the medicinal property in Bangalore. Which means I should, if I want medicinal property, I should grow them in their habitat. Habitat is the Sharavati basin. For the fish to survive there, I should make sure that 12 months water is there in the stream. For 12 months water to be in the stream, you should keep the catchment with the species of native forest. So this gives a link between the forest and the quality of the fish. Okay? Now, you know the global warming is happening, changes in climate is happening. You would have studied all those things. You know, when the changes in climate happen, one other thing is we will not have water on the earth. You know, some days in Gulbarga you don't have water. You know the problem. When the whole earth doesn't have water, what will happen? No humans can survive. Now let us see what about other organisms. You know, frogs, we call them as amphibians. Why do we call them as amphibians? Is that the correct answer? Huh? I am also in the water in the morning, now I am on the land. Can you call me as amphibian? Then? Huh? What is required for? Okay. See, now there are 2 stages in the life cycle of the frog. Juvenile stage, tadpole stage requires water. Adult stage is on the land. Now there are 2 stages requiring different kind of habitat. We call the frogs as amphibians. Now if the water is not there, your tadpole cannot survive. In such a case, what will happen to the frog? They cannot survive. In such a case, you know, we come across one of the study, this species Pilatus leucorhinus. You know, it bypasses the tadpole stage itself. It realizes when the water is required for the continuing the progeny of the tadpole, the water is not there. It removed the tadpole stage itself. See, after 14 days of fertilization, we saw the younger ones coming out, bypassing the tadpole stage. That is very important from evolutionary point of view. And also it indicates the adaptive capability of the frogs. You know, it can, see, with the water scarcity, none of us will survive. However intelligent we are, however beautiful we do the Appa Kere, we will go to Appa's land only. Okay? But, you know, these animals will survive. Those frogs will be in the Appa Kere laughing at us. That's what is going to happen. Okay? Now, look at our culture. We always link this forest to the water availability. That's why a patch of forest in a village was conserved as a sacred forest or a Khan or a this one. You go to Kerala, it is known as Kavu. It is not only Hindus, even all the communities I have seen that. So, when you look at the land, the head of the Shiva covered with the hair, it resembles the earth with the forest. Okay? So that also gives the water. See, when you have hair on the head, when the water is put, it slowly, okay, if the hair is now removed, then you put water, it immediately gushes down. Nothing is there. Exactly same thing happens here. Realizing that, we started conserving patch of forest called sacred forest. You know what our recent fellows are doing in the name of beautification? They remove the forest, they put idol there. Even in Appakere, they will put all those souls who have left us, no? They will put one statue of them in the name of beautification. See, I would have said, youngsters going there and doing experiment is a beautiful sight than having those statues there. That is what you youngsters should question the government. You should question. Okay? Of course, you might have some limitation. Don't worry. People like me are there. Professor Vijay Kumar is there. We are raising our concerns on this. And Professor Shankar was also with the data. He was trying to tell the people who are not willing to accept that there are birds are there, birds are required. Okay? Now, if the water is not there, what will happen? Let us learn from the history. The people said land is enough for people to survive. They went on expanding the island. Finally, one day island has to be vacated because there was no water. This is an Easter island. This story you can see in the Google, if you do Google search. Similarly, last leg of Vijayanagara kingdom failed because of the water crisis. See, that means wherever water scarcity happens, people are going to lose the entire thing. That is where we have to be careful. Okay? Now, let me take you to one of the districts where I have worked for a last 2.5 decades. My district has 85% forest cover. One of the highest forest cover district in Karnataka. If you look at streams, usually each parcel of the land has the stream. Streams means Jari. Jarigalu serdaga nadi agutte. So that is what you see that. Okay. Now, what did we do? For the last 4 decades, I have to find out what changes have happened in the system. I use a remote sensing data. This is a picture of the Earth taken from the satellite from 1970 onwards to today. Okay. So what did I do? I go to field, find out what kind of forests are there, and I do the classification. Here, as you all do, you will, I suppose you all go to the forest, you put the transact and quadrat, you find out what species are there. And so I suppose as a zoology student, you would have at least once you would have gone to the forest to do this one. See, we all spend 365 days in forest. See, if I am not traveling anywhere, I am in the forest, always. Not in Bangalore. So, because I like forest, I get fresh air. Okay? But I also have family. Don't think that I don't have family. This fellow must be in the forest, because some people will think like that. Okay? Now, see, we go to the forest. See, when I take my students, some people will be like this, so stout and all. When after 1 year field work, they become so slim. If you want to put on your weight, best thing is come with for the transact work and this one. Okay? Now, using remote sensing data, we classify. We know that where forests are there, how much. How we did it is there. If you are interested, I can come back sometime next. When I come for the next meeting, I can interact with you people on that. Okay? So, evergreen forest, which was 67%, has come down to 29% today. 1970s, 67%. Today, 29%. See, when I was in the class, everyone was scoring 95, 98, 99 like that. I was told in one of the college here, that today people are competing to pass 34, 35 marks. Like that it has become to that past stage. Our forest also have become like that, 30%, okay? So, now let us try to see how changes are happening. See, this is how visualization become very interesting. 1973, everything was green. That means everywhere forest was there. Then in 1989, you see changes have happened. We lost this area forest. Here some urbanization happened, we lost forest. Then in 90s, we constructed a dam, we lost the forest. These are the patches where we lost the forest. This blue color is the current forest cover. Okay, 99, 2013, okay, 2016. Now you see that when you compare 2016 with 73, you can see what is the forest change that has happened in the system, which you can do through the GIS remote sensing. There was a center here on remote sensing. I don't know whether it's functional now. It is there. Okay. I used to come here to take classes for them. Okay. So, then let us also look at not only forests are we are losing the forest. Even whatever the forest we have now, getting fragmented. Chitra. See, earlier entire room was a forest. Today there is one tree there, another tree there. The entire thing has changed. Like this. For animals, what happens? Some of you are zoology student, you will understand. For an animal here, the entire region is its territory. Animal passes through the region. When it passes, it will see agriculture land. It will start eating that agriculture crop. That is where, the people lose the agriculture crop. When it happens, people start shooting the animal or hunting the animal. When they start shooting or hunting, what will animal do? Animal out of fear will start residing in a small pocket. They are residing in a small pocket and they breed among themselves. Among the cousins. Earlier the species here would have exchanged the gene with the species here. Somebody from Kashmir marrying someone in Kerala. But not just Kerala. One small hamlet in Kerala, the cousins are marrying. There is no exchange of gene. That becomes a weak gene. Weak gene means it leads to the loss of gene, genetic diversity and the species. The extinction of the species happen. Now if you want to conserve that gene or the species, what you should do? You should map its territory and protect that. Okay? Now that's what we did. We tried to map where all fragmentation has happened. Don't worry about mathematical part. But final result is, see, what was green is getting more and more yellow. That means more and more fragmented. So from 1973 to 2018, okay? So then we also looked at how that fragmentation is happening. One is because of encroachment, atikraman. People so greedy, they want to occupy. If you are not there, even your bag they will take away. Such a greedy fellows are there. So that is the kind of people we map. Okay? And this is the region where Anshi Dandeli Tiger Reserve is there. Where there is not much encroachment. That means we need to identify the region which has to be protected. Okay? Then we also looked at, if you allow the developmental projects in the Western Ghats, what is the likely scenario? See, when you propose a project, we looked at all the projects. When the projects were sanctioned, they said it is 70 acres. 70 acres looks small, but that 70 acres, after some time, becomes 700 acres. Once the industry comes, surrounding that some chai shops, some cycle repair shop will come, slowly that converted into town. That happening in urban area, I have no problem. But that happening in the area where forests were there, that is not acceptable. So that is what we map. See, this kind of analysis will help the decision maker that how to manage the ecosystem, the fragile ecosystem. Okay? Now then we become more ambitious. After Uttara Kannada, we said entire home we should map. Anyway, data was there, big data is there. And today, artificial intelligence and machine learning is there. You know what is artificial intelligence? Anyone can help me out in artificial intelligence? You want to say something? कृतका बुद्धिमत्ता है. हाँ, artificial intelligence है नहीं. See, now for example, yeah. Okay. See, now I have to classify this remote sensing data. Now classification, I write some codes. Okay, every time when I do that, I write the code and analyze. Now when I do the artificial intelligence or machine learning, I make my system to learn that code and start applying that. As madam rightly said, no, robot is there. I have given an instruction, go and open the door, come back. I have given an instruction, it will do it. Then next time I don't want to give the instruction. The moment somebody knocks, I will say that you open the door. Automatically it goes, opens the door, comes back. Till that knocking stops. Okay? That is based on the artificial intelligence that we have given the intelligence to that unit. Similarly here, classifying this remote sensing data earlier for one district, it was taking almost 4 to 5 months. Today because of AI, the entire Western Ghats, in 6 months my student did it. That comes down the work and all of it. But still, biologists have to go to field to find out where evergreen forests are there, what species are there. My robot cannot identify the species. That will take another 10 years or 15 years to do that. So, but till then, there is a lot of scope for the student doing the science. Even after that it is there. Okay? Then we also said how much carbon is stored in the plant. During photosynthesis, plants take away the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, stores in the tree, and it gives oxygen. And oxygen is required for whom? Only humans. All biological organisms which require the oxygen. Is there someone who is not breathing in this classroom? I am asking a question. Everyone is breathing, no? Some people are not only breathing in the nose, they are also opening the mouth. Once in a while I see people opening the mouth to tell that I am here. My carbon dioxide has increased. Okay? So now we quantified how much carbon is stored in the forests of Western Ghats. It's about 1.23 million gigagram. And every year it stores 37,000 gigagram. Which is equivalent to the emission that happens in a city like Trivandrum, Cochin, Bangalore, Mangalore. That way nature is doing the balance. You might ask, what is the use of this kind of work? See, I have given the economic value. It amounts to 100 billion rupees. This is when I go abroad, no? When I am in the United Nations, I will tell them, I have forests in my home which has stored the carbon which you fellows have emitted. Because I have only one earth. What you emitted has gone to the atmosphere. My trees have taken. The service is 100 billion rupees. You have to pay 100 billion rupees to us to conserve. See, that is how one has to argue. As a youngster, you should have this kind of talent to put it in the international forum. See, what I have noticed is when people go abroad, some of the people are very senior. There are some people, maybe 40 to 50% are Indian. They just go from one park to another park like that. They think that Indians are born only for recreation. When I was in Europe, I didn't know there are many people keep eye on me. I used to go to my lab at 7 o'clock, come out at 7:30 or 8 o'clock. After a week, my neighbor room faculty came to me. He said, sir, you are from which country? I said, I am from India. They said, we have seen Indians coming to our institute. They never used to be in the room. Room used to be closed between 7 to 10. And only half an hour they used to be there, then again they disappear. But you are working all the time. I said, no, 90% of Indians work like that. Only 10% we have, they do the beautification and they run around like that. That kind of attitude and the thing is giving some bad name to our country. That we have to change, okay? Now, if the system changes, what is going to happen to Western Ghats? We have seen, only 10% of the region will have evergreen forest in Western Ghats as against 33%. And the implication is temperature will increase. Already last 2 days, because of no rain, the temperature has gone up by 2 degrees. And rainfall, there will be changes in rainfall. The region which was receiving higher rainfall will not receive higher rainfall. And more importantly, rainy days. Earlier rain used to be for 6 to 8 months. Instead of 6 to 8 months, the same quantity of rain will come in 3 or 4 days. You will have floods. You have the same quantity of rain, but not spread across the months. Only 3 or 4 days. Then you have floods. Because of the flood, you have landslides, mudslides. When landslide happens, what people say? Oh, because of the rain. But they don't know. They are the people who change the rain pattern. That is where we are paying the price. Okay? Now you understood the linkages. I have demonstrated the importance of the ecosystem. Okay? So, you need to manage it. How do you manage it? That's what I learned from these elderly ladies. They are quite senior to me. They go under the water and collect a bucket full of bivalves. As a zoology student, the bivalves, the marine organism with a shell. The inside that is used as a meat. They collect bucket full. When they sell in the market, they get 350 rupees, which is sufficient for them to run the family. They do not collect the bucket, next bucket. They will go next day only. Why? That is where sustainability. They know that if they collect more and more, that tomorrow they will not have resources. But you come to Bangalore, land of greedy fellows. We don't want to suck. We want to take away every resources. That's what is happening. Not only for our grandchildren, great-grandchildren. We have one politician from this region. His great-grandson also can stay in a bungalow. But I see people in this region are very poor. Very nice people, but very poor. Every time they go and vote for the same person. And that person, every election, he will have one or Armani kind of lifestyle. So this will continue as long as we do not understand our responsibilities in the democracy. Okay? Now coming back to my subject. See, when you plan the project, do not deprive the local people their right to live. See, when the right connected between the Cochin and the Mumbai, people who are getting the fish and the paddy, they were not deprived. That is the development one should have. When you develop or beautify the lake, don't remove the trees and deprive the birds their habitat. This is what you have to question. And I don't see you people raising the concern in the system. As a youngster, when I was quite young, I used to raise my voice. Even today I am raising my voice. Okay? Now, which are the regions which are ecologically sensitive? We try to map that. How did we map? See, ಪರಿಸರಕ್ಕೆ ಸೂಕ್ತವಾದ ಪರಿಸರ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿದೆ? ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ. ಅದು ಪರಿಸರ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಆಹಾರ ಸಿಕ್ಕತ್ತೆ, ನೀರು ಸಿಕ್ಕತ್ತೆ, ವಿಧವಾದ ಜೈವಿಕ ವೈವಿಧ್ಯತೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಘಾಟ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೇನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ? ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯೂಸ್ ದ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕವರ್, ದ ಎಂಡಮಿಕ್ ಸ್ಪೀಷೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲೋರಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೋನಾ, ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ಸ್. ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಲೆ ಹಾಕಿ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಯಾವ ಹಳ್ಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿಸರ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಪ್ರಯಾರಿಟೈಸೇಷನ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡನ್. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ಸಿ ನಾವು ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಕವರ್ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆಯೋ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೈಯರ್ ವೇಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಎಂಡಮಿಕ್ ಸ್ಥಳೀಯ ಪ್ರಭೇದದ ಕಾಡುಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳಿರೋ ಜಾಗ ಅದನ್ನು ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಎಂಡಮಿಕ್ ಸ್ಪೀಷೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲೋರಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಫೋನಾ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್. ದೆನ್ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು 12 ತಿಂಗಳು ಸಿಕ್ಕುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. Where we get water 12 months, that also, and we have given the higher weight, 8 months, 6 months and 4 months, okay? And then the social, where tribal people are there, wherever the families are there, we have given higher, because the forest dwelling communities are there. ಕಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಜನಗಳು ಅವ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೋ ಆ ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ಆ ಪ್ರದೇಶ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಹಳ್ಳಿಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಬರುತ್ತೋ ಅದು ಪರಿಸರ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ಪ್ರದೇಶ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇದು ಕೆಂಪು ಇರೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಪರಿಸರ ಸೂಕ್ಷ್ಮ ಪ್ರದೇಶ 1, ದೆನ್ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಇಸ್ 2, the light green is 3 and blue is 4. Now we overlaid the panchayat boundary, then we also overlaid the village boundary. That means this information is available at the village level. As per the Biodiversity Act, you all know Biodiversity Act, no? The students of science, you know the Biodiversity Act? Which country has formulated Biodiversity Act? 2002. Government of India, our country. You belong to some other country? The way you are looking at, you are thinking that I was thinking whether you are from some other country. Okay. So then, see, now we not only did that, see, the information is, we made it to be available to the people. We launched that thing for the, these are the variables we used. We mapped this one, and finally for the entire Western Ghats, we did the analysis. Okay, these are the entire Western Ghats where all flora and fauna are there. Then, endemic flora. You see that Kerala and Karnataka part of Western Ghats have higher endemic trees and animals. See, ಜೀವ ವೈವಿಧ್ಯತೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, ಸ್ಥಳೀಯ ಪ್ರಭೇದಗಳಿರೋದು ಕೇರಳ, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ತಮಿಳುನಾಡು part of Western Ghats. Okay, so then based on that, we said these are ecologically sensitive region 1, 2 and 3 and 4. And we know where which village is ecologically sensitive. We launched this web page recently. It's about 15 days back. I launched it at IISC. And when you access this, it looks like this. You can visualize, you can choose the state, you can choose the district, find out your village, whether it is ecologically sensitive. If it is, whether it is ecologically sensitive 1, 2 or 3 or 4, then what are the features which are used? We have used all those variables. In my lifetime of 25 years, I have given this to the system. I have satisfaction. Believe it or not, within 10 days of launching this, there was a question in the parliament about this. That means the message has reached the decision makers also. And there is last 2 weeks, there is one fellow called Priyank Karge. He keeps talking about the eco-sensitive region and all. And there is Ishwar Kandre. I think they are all from this region only. They are talking about Parisara, Kasturirangan committee report and all. So for them, we have said that where the ecologically sensitive regions are there and why it is has to be conserved, And when we launched, you see that the newspaper also reported that. Okay? So, and now let me give another message. You are all young, no? How many of you are young in this room? Why the hands are not going up? Nothing will happen. Those who feel young can raise the hand. Okay? You are not young? Okay. Now, I will tell you. If you want to be healthy, you should have pulses. Of course, the food I was given in the guest house was rich in pulses. Pulses ಅಂದರೆ ದ್ವಿದಳ ಧಾನ್ಯ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಏನೇನು ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ಟು? ಒಂದು, ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಒಬೆಸಿಟಿನೇ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಸಿ, ವೆನ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ pulses, protein in your food, no, you will not be obese. For example, I work on algae. Algae stores more lipid when it doesn't have nutrient in the environment. When we enrich the environment, it will not have the variation. Like that, if you have more pulses in your food, you will not be obese. Even when I address the medical student, probably in the country I was the only faculty who addresses all the this on botany, zoology and everybody, including medical professionals. and it helps in brain functioning. Don't think that your mobile will give everything. Mobile makes you dumb. See, people who do not use mobile are more intelligent than the dumb fellows who use mobile. Have you come across anybody who do not use mobile? That means more and more people are becoming dumb. Correct, no? But I don't use mobile. But I still sit in various committees, okay? Then, it is a good source of vitamins. And it helps in preventing cell and gene damage. And aids in digestion and boosts metabolism. Okay? And it also helps in muscle. Who want to have 6-pack, 8-pack and all, no? Can also have this, okay? So now, one of my colleagues, you might say, what is the proof? People always say, ninge guarantee in gottu anta. See, one of my colleagues, when he retired, his body was tired with all the blood pressure, sugar and all. Then, he changed his food habit. When you look at his food habit, dinner plate, 5 varieties of vegetable, 5 varieties of fruits and a bowl of pulses. Each of 50 grams. This diversity gives the immunity and pulses gives the stability. Today that gentleman is about 72. No blood pressure nor the diabetes. See, that is this one, when you have healthy food, you have physiological, psychological, sociological, environmental, nutritional, emotional and spiritual well-being. That means you will be a happy person, okay? So then, when you start having more and more pulses, I need to grow more pulses. Let us see how much water is required for growing the pulse. For a kg of pulse, I need 200 liters of water. To grow rice and wheat, I need 3,000 to 5,000 liters of water. Okay? And to grow sugar, I need about 12,000 liters of water. And more importantly, when I grow pulses, I am also addressing the human-animal conflict. I am not talking about human-human conflict. I am talking about human-animal conflict. Wild animal coming to the villages, they rape the paddy and sugarcane. In those villages, if you grow pulses, you are solving the human-wildlife conflicts also. That is a healthy planet. You see healthy planet when there are greeneries are around. Diversity of life is there. Okay? So then we also did the mapping of what are the values of the ecosystem. One of the things people ask, how much you earn? If you earn 2 lakh per month, you are considered okay man. If you earn 10 lakh, then you are considered still better fellow like that. Then I thought I should also find out this ecosystem, what is the worth of the ecosystem? What kind of goods and services they provide? We just did the quantification of the timber. ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಾಡಿಂದ ಟಿಂಬರ್ ಸ್ಪೀಷೀಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, NTFP, ಕಿರು ಅರಣ್ಯ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ, ದೆನ್ ಮೆಡಿಸಿನಲ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್, ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ಇದಿರೋದು, ಮತ್ತು ಫುಡ್, ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ವಿ ಫೌಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ದ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ minus the cost. When you minus the cost to the market value, that means how much profit you have got. Okay, suppose if you have spent 100 rupees for extraction and processing and market value is 150. 150 minus 100 is the 50 rupees is the profit you have. Now that is what we used and we found out for each product, Q is the product, P is the price, minus the cost. And for each taluk we calculated. Then we also did for all the varieties of timber, and each type, for example, rosewood, teakwood, etc. Okay? Then we calculated what is the total value. For the district where I work, the total value is, 9,282 crores per year. 9,282 crores per year. Okay? And then, from which other good? You have the timber and we know the share of that. The scenario 2, it became 11,000. I included a wild fruit. The forest gives the wild fruits which are eaten by the wild animals. So nobody has done the quantification. Some of my students have done the thing. We quantified that and it amounts to 20% and it pushed the thing by 11,000 crores. Then we also, scenario 3, we looked at the carbon sequestration and the oxygen production. It becomes 15,000 crores per year in a district of 10,000 square kilometers. 70% forest cover 9,000 to 15,000 crores per year is the revenue from the forest. Now let us look at how much the government has valued. Okay, government comes out with a GDP, gross district domestic product, and which shows the 5,000, the 798 crore is the annual GDP of Uttar Kannada district. Out of that, they have shown 128 crore or 168 crore as from the forest. See, now when we do the calculation, we are getting 9,000 crores. But when the government is actually accounting, they are showing 180 crores. So much undervaluation is happening. You might ask, in what way it benefits? See, what is the revenue from the district? Part of the revenue comes to the district as for developmental projects. Now, if you show 180, 10% of that is, I will stop, madam, 18 crores, okay? But, no, I told you only, 9,000 crore means 10% of that 90 crore. In place where we are supposed to get 90 crore, the people are showing only a fraction of it. This undervaluation is happening because many people do not know the value of the forest. That is where the undervaluation is happening, and that is where all these beautification fellows will come with all kind of beautiful reports and all those things. Okay? Then, we also, the work what we did for the entire state about the worth of the forest ecosystem, for the entire state, including Gulbarga, we did the mapping. Okay? I'll just wind up in under 2-3 minutes. Okay? You see that Karnataka forest in 2005 is every year we are getting 2,841 billion rupees, and it has come down to 1,835 billion rupees. How did we do the project? Now, Uttar Kannada district, I published in 2017. It was there on the net, and people are reading, some people are inviting me. United Nations also saw my publication, which was published by a journal which was available online. Then they approached me. They asked me, can we do this work for 10 districts in Karnataka? Then when we took up the project in 2019, I signed the contract in the December. For my bad luck, 2020, COVID started in the country. Lockdown started. But since I was in some of the government committees, I was traveling in the place. Myself, my student, we were traveling in the government vehicles. No traffic, like this politician travel, like that we were roaming from one place to the other. Probably I was the only scientist on the earth traveling during the COVID period doing the work. And then myself, my students, okay? And what we did, not just 10 districts in Karnataka, we did for all the districts in Karnataka, 30 districts. We submitted that report to the United Nations. They invited me to talk. When I presented that my state, my country, the work is there, they were surprised. They asked me, sir, we thought that Indians never work. How is that you people have done? I said, that is not true. We work, but we never publicize. We are silent workers. See, when required, we give the medicine also. And the success is because of the youth. Large number of youngsters like Vinay work with me. When they work, I see a success. I am just a mouthpiece for them. I go, they say that, see, every time when I go out, some youngster travels with me, they learn how to do the analysis, how to present it. Capacity building happens. The children understand this thing, okay? So now, if we are getting 1,835 crores per year, what is the worth of the forest? Let us see. If you keep 1,000 rupees in a bank at 10% interest, you get every year 100 rupees. Now to get 100 rupees every year, how much money you have to keep? 1,000 rupees. Now similarly, if you are getting 1,835 billion rupees a year, what is the worth of the forest in our state? It is 47,000 billion rupees. It is called net present value. And what was earlier, before degradation, 73,000 billion rupees. See, 35% degradation, 35% loss. People say 45% corruption. No, it is directly proportional to that. so much we have looted, our fellows have looted the forest, and that led to the degradation of the forest. Okay? I'll give another small thing. The lakes. You know, some of you monitor the lakes. You know, lakes are used for dumping solid waste. Gulbarga is no exception. And this kind of huge macrophytes are there. Today I went in the morning in the Kaza, the lake. Everything is covered. Okay? And people are encroaching. Here also they are encroaching. Okay? And lake which was like this has become like this. Okay? You know, our Vijay Kumar monitored dissolved oxygen and all those things. When you look at, when the lake was in clean, TO is higher, okay, at the outlet compared to inlet. That means as the water moved from inlet to outlet, the treatment was happening. But when it is covered with macrophyte, there is no treatment happens. You know, there is no sunlight penetration. When there is no sunlight penetration, the algae does not grow. When algae is not there, zooplankton is not there, or the fish is not there. Okay, that's how the value of the ecosystem comes down. Okay, so then you will also see when the lake is contaminated, how it affects us. You know, the people collect fish from the lake. Okay, and people use this water for growing vegetable in the surrounding area. We analyze the heavy metal content in the fish and the vegetables. Vegetable like pudina, harve soppu, the carrot, the mulangi, all those things, radish, etc. We analyze. All of them have a heavy metal. You know, heavy metal in our food is a serious problem. You know, the consequence of that is cancer and kidney failure is increasing in Bangalore. Brain has already failed in Bangalore, don't worry. Kidney is also failing. You know, what was 1 in 1 lakh about 12 years back, today is 1 in 5,000. That means earlier 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ಮಂದಿಗೆ ಒಬ್ಬನಿಗೆ ಕಿಡ್ನಿ ಫೇಲ್ಯೂರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಇವಾಗ 5,000 ಮಂದಿ ವಾಪಸ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ವಾರ್ಡಲ್ಲೂ ಕಿಡ್ನಿ ಡಯಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಯಾಕೆ? ನಾವು ಇರೋ ಪರಿಸರನ ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. Pollution everywhere. That is where the problem is. See, when we pollute our neighborhood, the pollution comes to our home. See, when I visited some schools in rural Bangalore near this lake, so pathetic. LKG girl child had lost 1 kidney. In the same area, another government school, you know, the boy, 8th standard boy, had lost both the kidney. In the school, another girl, 8th standard, 2 kidneys, both the kidneys are failed. After 2 years, when I visited the school, I asked, where is this kid? I want to talk to them. They said they are not there. Kid is dead. So we are losing the youth because of the unhealthy situation. You know, youth are the asset of the nation. Why did I come to you all today? You are the asset of my nation, because tomorrow you are going to take care of my country. You know, that is where, to bring this knowledge, I thought I should spend some time so that you will make sure your environment is clean and this one. Okay? Now when people talk about lake rejuvenation, desilting is one of the things. Some people will make island, some people will use it in their all kinds of tamasha they do. You know, in one of the lake in Bangalore where rejuvenation, I don't allow any nonsensical thing to happen. People said that ಮೂರು ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬ ಖರ್ಚಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಮತ್ತು ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. What did I do? I just analyzed the nutrient content in that soil. I called the farmers in the region. I asked the farmers, will you take it? There are no contaminants. They said, sir, if you supply to my home, we will take it. I convinced the government to supply to their home. The 400 acres of land, I gave the seal to them. After 3 months, since I am in the committee and the National Green Tribunal, I keep going there. When I went there, after 4 months, you know, each farmer was giving me the bumper, this one. You know, this is the kind of thing. They said, per acre, they got 1.5 lakh rupees additional. You know, because it's a nutrient-rich soil, they didn't use the fertilizer. Since they didn't use fertilizer, there is a saving there. And since the soil has nutrient, it has a bumper crop. And that's how they got 1.5 lakh per acre in one season. They grow 3 times a year. You can see 1.5 into 3, 4.5 lakh per acre. Per acre. I have given for 400 acre. You can see how much people are benefited. That is how the science goes to the society. When I see this bumper crop, the smile on the farmer's face, I feel satisfied. Okay? And when I see I have given a clean water because of my technology, when the child is not having I feel satisfied. That's what as a youngster today. I was also like you all when 3 decades back. I could solve some of the problem. I hope you will solve the tomorrow's problem like this. Okay? So then, what else we have done? You know, wastewater treatment. Okay? Rainwater harvesting. Creating the water bodies. Then mini forest. And sensitizing the youth. You know, you can ask Professor Vijay Kumar how many talks he has given, or Professor Shankar and all. They will say they have given some talk. But you will not see a person who is giving a talk almost every alternate day. No, every week you can ask Vinay. At least 3 or 4 talks are there. It's not only I am not lying, you go to the Facebook, our Vinay puts it in the Facebook to tell the people that this man is not lying. Otherwise people say, no, what is the proof? So to tell that only he documents the information. Now wastewater treatment. You know what did I do? I took the advantage of my knowledge in science. The phytoremediation, constructed wetland and algal pond, I just put it, when the water reaches the lake, no, I just put those things. They were doing a treatment of this water. You know, this is a place called Jakkur Lake. Surrounding Jakkur Lake, there were 30 wells were there. In 2005, when I studied that, I found nitrate in the water, in the wells as well as the lake. You know, nitrate in the water, if you are environmental science, you will understand, is a carcinogen which introduces cancer. At that time, I told the government that we need to do something, there is a serious problem. Then the government, what did they do? They constituted a committee to rejuvenate the lake. I was a member of that committee. Then the government also said, we don't have the money to treat the wastewater. We can treat only the secondary treatment. You know, wastewater treatment has 3 levels, primary, secondary, tertiary. Primary treatment will remove large particles. Secondary treatment will remove the chemical ion. Tertiary treatment will remove the nutrient like nitrogen and phosphorus. Now when you look at the sewage, what you generate at home, it has N and P, not just chemical ion. You eat protein, that N comes there, sargonic will come. You wash cloth with detergent, phosphorus gets in. So it has to be removed. That means the government proposal of just putting a secondary treatment plant will not solve the problem. Then what did I do? I just integrated, constructed wetland and algal pond and made sure, you know, this water reaches the lake. Today, last 10 years, my students have monitored. And we prepared a report, it is available online. These are all the students who have worked in this. And today, not 30 wells, 300 wells are there. None of the wells, nor the lake has the nitrate. That means the technology is working. You know, when the water passes through, these marshy plants like colocasia, typha, etc., they have the ability to uptake the nutrient and heavy metal. That's how the treatment happened. And the algae does the wonderful sequestration of the phosphorus. That's another wonderful job. This is called phytoremediation. That's an emerging area. If you look at my profile, you know, Vijay Kumar mentioned that I have a citation of 18,000. That's mainly because of that remediation work and such work. Okay, that high number I got it mainly because of that. So that means the students of zoology and environmental science, you can do wonders. You know, if I have done 18,000, you can do work where 18 million can come the citation. You will understand what the citations means later. Okay? Then I have created a water body in the campus which stores 10 lakh liters of water. You know, that is used as a biofuel lab. That's what Prakash was telling. The environment I have changed in the campus. Not only for the people. See, I have water in the campus. I don't know from where it has come. It has come searching for me. And it comes only to me. When I go there, it comes. It won't come when you go there. Because it knows that you didn't create the water body. Okay? Then if the otter is there, there must be fish also. I don't go and feed otter fish. You know, because I don't belong to that category of feeding and all those things. Because I don't have time. So then my student did the mapping of biodiversity. There is enough algae, zooplankton and fish. That means nature has created the ecosystem there, the food chain is there. We take care of the food for the dependent animal. Now the message here is I stay on the campus. You know, my family, we require 500 liters of water a day. That means about 1.2 lakh liters of water I require per year. I am storing 10 times the water in a lake here. If every citizen on the earth does it, there won't be any poverty or scarcity of resources. What you consume, 10 times that you give it back to the system in a better state, not in a polluted state. See, then you are a human being. Otherwise, there is not much difference between humans and others. Okay? And when I meet people, I also make them to think. You know, sometimes people come and meet me. You know, this saint met me like that. I was traveling in Mangalore. The newspaper carried my travel plan. Then this gentleman talked to me. He said, sir, can you come to my ashram? We want to talk. He said 2014 and 15, there was no water in the taluk. Can you do something? You know, when saint says, I couldn't solve the problem. And looking at the scientist, you can see the science has the upper hand over everything. Okay? But at the same time, you should keep in mind, if you want to prosper, science, society, culture and spirituality should go hand in hand. Then only you will see sustenance of resources. So then I told that saint that I am busy at St. Aloysius till 7 o'clock in the evening because my workshop is going on. I can only travel after that. It's another 1 hour travel. By the time when I reach 9 o'clock, I gave a talk like this. After listening to me, he said, sir, I have 12 acres of land. Immediately next day, myself, my student, we went around, we surveyed the area, we prepared a scientific report to say where is the lowest point in that 12 acres, what should be the size of the pond to store the water. We gave that proposal to him in the first week of May 2016. Believe it or not, in 10 days, he creates the water body and does the planting of native species in the thing. That success is because of the youth. You know, where youth is there, there is a positive energy. Where there is a negative energy, that means youth have lost their young thing. Their brain has become corrupt. So where young are there, there is always a success. You know, when a same set of people, if they have crossed 35, if I had given this proposal, they would have said, what is the proof? How did you do? How much money it will cost? Here, nothing they thought about it, they just implemented. And when they trained, the water was stored. And I found the success is because of the student from Alva's Science and Engineering College. Then I saw the Alva's CEO was also quite young. See, when youth is there, I always take advantage. Yesterday also when we talked to Professor Vijay Kumar, he said, okay, how many people will be there in the thing? He said, 100 plus will be there. I said, if I am communicating to 100 plus, what else I want? Okay, I can even postpone my travel and spend a day with them. So then, you know, when I saw that young man, I convinced him to have the water body in his camp because he had money. Only the thing is convincing was required. And also we said what kind of plants to be planted. You know, 2018 when I went to that campus as a guest faculty, you see the greenery, abundant water and smile on our face. And all of you are in this age group. You know, the message here is quite loud and clear. When he met me, like all of you, he is a bachelor or a priest. That means not married. And he was trying to get married, but not happening for various reasons. But within 6 months of creating this water body, he gets a partner.
Everybody will start, sir.
Who takes care of the entire family. See, getting partner is not an issue. Getting a right partner who take care of the entire family and leading a happy life is more required. The day when you get married, if the family moves out of the home, that's a tragedy that only we will understand. You know, that should not happen. You know, in Bangalore, people get married. Through the Facebook, all these faceless fellows will get married. But next month, they will be filing the paper for divorce. But what is these youngsters are doing? They are proud parents for the 2 children now. and they are taking care of the elders. When I go to that place, they make sure that I don't stay in their guest house. I stay in their home. How many people will allow the guest to stay in the home today? Tell me. ನನಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ತಲೆನೋವು ಇರೋ ಕೆಲಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಅವನು ಬಂದು ಇನ್ನೇನು ನನಗಿದು ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಆಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಗರ್ಲ್ ಸೇ ಸರ್ ಇಫ್ ಐ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ 10 minutes with you I get the investment for 1 year. So that is how these youngsters, sensible youth will work, okay? Then come to my campus, you will see this climber. You know, I was attracted to this climber, architecture. I said I should have it in Bangalore. What did I do? I took this pod which had 14 seats. Out of 14 seats, I have kept 7 in my lab. Because somebody will ask, what is the proof? No. To answer them, I have kept it. They can do the molecular ecology. But remaining 7, I planted in 7 locations in the campus. Out of 7, only 1 survived. Where it survived? Next to the building where I have been working for the 2 decades. That means even the plants know who will take care. You do not know whether you will take care of your parents tomorrow, but my plants know that I am taking care of them. Okay? Then in front of the building I created a mini forest in a 2 hectares area. 49 native species, 500 saplings were planted way back when I was a student. Today you come there, you get a feel of the rainforest like this. Not only that, you see a diversity of fauna. If you want to study Splendoloris, I have 4 families there. Okay? And temperature there is 2 degrees lower because of the lake and this mini forest. That's what Professor Shankar was telling, heat island effect yesterday. You can see the negative of the heat island there. And more importantly, groundwater, which was 150 feet, I have water at 10 feet today. 150 feet before creating the mini forest. After creating mini forest, now I have 10 feet at water. When you have water at 10 feet, is it not a good sign? Okay. Then to communicate, we talk to the youngster. And today, I have been successful. My students are in various institutions like IITs, etc. And we also offer a course on environmental management. Last 2 decades I have offered. And now the next session is going to start on the day after tomorrow, you know. So that means we are doing capacity building at school level to the people working at industry and university. Some of the university faculty are also my students, okay. Well, we organize a symposium popularly known as Lake Symposium. Every even year we do 2000, 2002 like that. We have conducted 13 events. If you look at the event, it's an international and national people will be there. Along with them, school students and college students take part. School students and college students, when they take part, they learn, the knowledge enhancement happens. Not only that, they will do simple experiment like, you know, carbon sequestration in trees in forest or catchment mapping. You know, they have been trained by my students. They collect the sample, they analyze. You know, the children in rural area do the biodiversity mapping. You know, that's how, you know, when they take part in that kind of international event, they become confident. You know, confident youngsters of today will turn out to be sensible youth tomorrow. You know, that's what we are doing, okay? So then, the work what I did in 2010 for energy, the solar program of the country is happening. And today my students are working on biofuel. You know, liquid fuel from the algae. You know, country has 65% of youth. All of you represent the country's asset. And we have abundant solar energy to convert that into electrical energy. And biofuel for liquid energy. If we harvest all of this, we are making the country, the developed country, with a sustenance of resources. You know, but still, I have some jokers in the system like, you know, beautification fellows. You people have to, I request you all to visit the lake, do the experiment, and write a letter to DC and RC of this city protesting against so-called beautification. In the name of beautification, they want to siphon off public money. Please don't allow that. In any event, I am raising my concern and I am writing to the government, but you also please make sure your voice is much stronger than my voice. When a youth raises the voice, certainly the message reaches the destination. Okay? And what I preach, I practice. If you come to my lab, I don't use too many tube lights because I want my head has to be without tube lights. Okay? So they have put some 6, 8 tube light in my room. I don't use any of that. I use one LED bulb of 20 watt as against 360 watts of tube light. And above my office, I have the solar panel, sustainable energy. Okay? I have the water body which gives the water. That's how I preach and practice. Okay? If you need more details, this is the web page. You will get the details, and you can write to me here. Okay? This is my email ID. And these are the publication archives. You will get all the publications what I have published. Okay? If you go to ResearchGate, I think Professor Vijay Kumar must have seen the ResearchGate and Google Scholar. Okay? Okay?
The topic is open for discussion.
Now, see, when we access this, you will get all the publications. Okay? And also, if you want to listen to me, in YouTube there is a Kannada version is there, Hindi version is there, English version is there, and details about the labs also are available online. Okay? So, and then the work is the work done by this youth. When youth does a job, there is a smile on everybody's face. When youth doesn't do the job, we have to cry. Please don't allow the seniors to cry. Make the country proud with your talent. Okay? With this, I end my talk, and I hope you all will do something for your city and take up a small experiment on the birds, on the butterflies, on the aquatic organisms. Professor Shankar was talking about mollusks, and there are many other phytoplankton, zooplankton, water quality. You all in the master's degree have to do some project. Please concentrate on that. You don't have to do year-long monitoring. Immediately you do it. Next 15 days, prepare a good report. Give it to us. I will see that so-called beautification is thrown out of Gulbarga. Okay? That is where I see a success in the program, and I hope you all will do it. Please don't give excuse. See, I could have given excuse. If you have seen my schedule, morning I visited late. By the time when I returned, there was some couple of people who are waiting for me to talk. Then I have come here. Then in a few minutes I catch a flight. Evening I have a class. So the night when I reach home, it might be 11 o'clock. But still, there is a satisfaction. So when you are satisfied, you feel content. Earning money is not the satisfaction. Earning money is only to show among your crude relatives and all that you are a big fellow. That bigness is of no use. When you are knowledgeable, you can do something for the country. You have to do that. Okay? Thank you all. If there are any questions, I would be very happy to answer. You can ask. Okay? ಅದೇ ಕೇಳಮ್ಮ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್
Please ask questions.
How do you see the problem of rehabilitation of tribal people from the forest? Sir,
Sorry?
how do you see the problem of rehabilitation of tribal people? Do you see it as a problem of like they are sustainably living in the forest?
Well, I worked in the Western Ghat Task Force. This is an emotional issue for the people sitting in the city. But when you go to the tribal fellows, the kind of life they are leading, without education for the children, they also want their children to be like me tomorrow. But they do not have the opportunity, there is no transportation thing. Providing the appropriate location with a better amenities is a good thing, but don't take them out under pressure. Convince them. That's what we did when I was a Western Ghat Task Force member. We went to the villages, we identified the remote villages, we made sure they are the thing. At the same time, we said that whatever the land you have there continues to be there with you, but you can move to this place. so that your children get a better thing. And today those who have taken my advice and the thing are doing better. So, but there are people, without understanding, they become emotional and complicate the issue. It is not a complex issue, provided we talk to them.
The image you showed, like before, so it was in Avinashi river.
It is
They were taking Bible from the river, under the river. So actually you said like they are sustainably using that. In the same way, tribal people are also like sustainably using the forest resources.
No. See, these are the things you need to understand. We are not saying they are not sustainable, but the children not getting education and adequate thing, like you and me, they are not getting. So rehabilitating them in the desert, at the same time they have the ownership of the land where they can extract their food. We have not deprived them. You understood? No. So their extraction is sustainable, but the problem is they are sustainable, but there are people like you and me, the timber fellows. We will make them to extract more timber and give it to us. Then they become unsustainable. That is where, people sitting in cities talk for the tribe, for their benefit, not tribal benefit. I have seen that timber fellows and all those timber fellows are doing. When we work silently, people are happy. There was no hue and cry. Okay, people even today, if you go to those villages, they respect us. Some of them treat that as a god. See, because we have solved their problem. Today the children are educated. They give credit of that to the decision we convince them. Okay? That is what should happen. Yeah. Anyone? ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀಯಪ್ಪ. ಕ್ಲಚ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ವ ನೀವು ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ? ಒಳ್ಳೆ ನಿಧಾನಕ್ಕೆ. ನೀನೇ ನನಗಿಂತ ಬಿಸಿ ಇದ್ದಂಗಿದೆ. ವಾಚ್ ಆವಾಗಲಿಂದ 3 ಸತಿ ನೋಡಿದೆ. ಯಾರಿಗಾನ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ಯಾ? ಓಕೆ ಹೇಳು.
ನಮ್ಮ ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ವಿಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಅಳಿವಿನಂಚಿನಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಅದಾವೆ ಅಂತ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅವುಗಳನ್ನು ಯಾವ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಬೋದು ಸರ್ ವಾಟಾರದಲ್ಲಿ?
ಸಿ, ನಾನು ಅಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ವಿಷಯನ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ನಂದು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಸ್ಥಳೀಯ ಪ್ರಭೇದಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಸ್ಥಳೀಯ ಪ್ರಭೇದ ಇದೆಯೋ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸಂರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಪ್ರದೇಶದಲ್ಲೂ ಅಲ್ಲಿಯ ವೈಶಿಷ್ಟ್ಯ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸ್ಥಳೀಯ ಪ್ರಭೇದಗಳಿವೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಬಂದಾಗ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಇದು ವಿಚಾರ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟಿಂಕ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ದೋಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಕನ್ಸರ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, see, that is where we have keystone species, umbrella species. When you protect one species, the multiple other species get conserved. So that is what is required. Okay? See, protect your neighborhood. You do not know what kind of organisms are there. Some may be in the verge of extinction, like you are saying. Okay? Anyone? ಏನಾಯ್ತು, ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ಯಾರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ? What happened to the... ಎಲ್ಲೋದ್ರೂ ನನಗೆ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ತುಂಬ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳೋರು. ಇವತ್ತು ಯಾಕೋ ಇದಾಗಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ.
ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇದೆ ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಿ? ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಹಾಕೋಕ್ಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇದೆ ಕೈ ಎತ್ತಿ? ಇಷ್ಟ.
What you wanted to do for that? That you should ask him.
Just in fact, the 5 minutes,
Sir, in the name of modernization, sir, the government is already road ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. A developed nation can be say developed by saying its road ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್. ಸೊ ಈಗ ರೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಗಿಡ ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಸರ್, ಅದರಿಂದ ರೇನ್ಫಾಲ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಇನ್ ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟ್ ವೇ ಸರ್. ಸೊ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸೇ ನೇಚರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ನೇಷನ್ ಸರ್.
See, Beautification is just a perception, okay? What is beautiful to your eye may not be the same thing to me, okay? That is what first we have to understand. Second thing, I am not against everything. I said do the planning. Convince me that your thing, you can ask Professor Shankar, he was there. First question I asked is the need assessment. ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾ? ಇವರು ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಬೋಧನೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ 21 ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ರೋಡ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೂ ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಫುಟ್ಪಾತು ಎಷ್ಟು ನೀನು ನಡೆಯೋಷ್ಟು ಇರಬೇಕು, 2.5 ಅಡಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, 5 ಅಡಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, 10 ಅಡಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದೆ? ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ 21 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ಯಾ? ನೀನು ಅಷ್ಟು ಅಗಲನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀನು, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ತಾನೆ? ಸಿ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಹೌ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಫೂಲಿಂಗ್. ಟುಡೇ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಎ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದೆಮ್. ದೇ ಶೋಡ್ ಮಿ, ಇನ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಮಿ ದ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. Their argument is, you know, the road has to be improved. Look at the kind of roads they have constructed within a year that fails. Why you people are not questioning? When I went to that Kaza Lake today morning, surrounding there are thousands of people below poverty level. You know that Darga and all is there and so many people are there. They are exposed to contaminants. Instead of rejuvenating that lake, which would have benefited the improvement of groundwater surrounding area, why I have to beautify my road here, which is good cement road, and then you know you have the footpath. Not only footpath, you put statue. ಅಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಸತ್ತೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು, ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ದಿವಸ ಹೋಗುವ ಬೈಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋದು ಯಾಕೆ? ಪಾಪ ಅವ್ರು ಹೋದವ್ರನ್ನ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಡಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ನಾವು? ಹೋಗ್ಲಿ, ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಯೂಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಕಾರ್ನರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅತ್ತ ಕಡೆ ಬಸವೇಶ್ವರ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇತ್ತ ಕಡೆ ಸಂಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ರಾಯಣ್ಣ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇರುವಾಗ ಇನ್ನೇನು ತಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕೋದು? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎದುರುಗಡೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಶರಣರ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನ ಇದೆ, ಇತ್ತ ಕಡೆ ಯಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನ ಇದೆ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಇನ್ನೇನಿದೆ ತಂದು ಇಡುವಂಥದ್ದು? ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕೆರೆ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ. ಕೆರೆ ಕಾನೂನು ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ? ಕೆರೆ ಇದು ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರಿಟಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್. ಬೌಂಡ್ರಿನ ಎನ್ಕ್ರೋಚ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಅವನೊಬ್ಬ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಫುಟ್ಪಾತ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ವೈಡನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಫೆನ್ಸ್ ತೆಗೆದು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ. ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ, ನಿಮ್ದು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನು? ಸರ್, ಒಳಗಡೆನೂ ವಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಪಾತ್ ಇದೆ, ಹೊರಗಡೆನೂ ವಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಪಾತ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಎರಡರ ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಬೌಂಡ್ರಿ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ 2 ವಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಪಾತ್ ಇದು. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ನಿನ್ನ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಓದಿದ್ಯಾ ಅಂತ. 2003 ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಗಿಂಗ್ ಪಾತ್ ಅಂತ ಇದ್ದಿತ್ತು. ಜಾಗಿಂಗ್ ಪಾತ್ ವಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಪಾತ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ವಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಪಾತ್. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ 10 ಅಡಿ ಆಗಲೇ ಜನ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿಮಮ್ 2 ಫೀಟ್. ಅವ್ರ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಹೋದ್ರೂ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ 5 ಫೀಟ್ ಬೇಕು. ಇಬ್ಬರು ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಹೋಗೋಕ್ಕೇನು ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? ಆ ಥರ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಅದು ವೈಡನ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇದೆ. ಸಿ, ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಟರ್ಮಿನಾಲಜಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಬೈ ದೆಮ್ ಟು ಸೈಫನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮನಿ. I am blunt and I have told them, you can ask Professor Shankar. Yesterday evening I told, they asked the regional commissioner, what is development? He couldn't answer, do you know that? ನಾನು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಕಾಂಕ್ರೀಟೈಸೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ? ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಗಿಡ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫೈ ಆಗಲ್ವಾ? ಕಾಂಕ್ರೀಟ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಚ್ಯೂ ಇಟ್ಟರೆ ಅದು ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫಿಕೇಷನ್? ಸಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೇರ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಬಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೇರ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಯೂತ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಯು ಟು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ದೆಮ್. ನಾಟ್ ಅಯ್ಯೋ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೀಗೇನೆ ಅಂತ ಇರೋವಂಥ ಯುವಕರು ಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಎದೆ ಗಟ್ಟಿ ಸ್ಪೈನಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆಯಾ ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನಿಂತು ಯುವಕರು ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ. ಇದೆಯಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪೈನಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಡು? ಇದೆಯಾ ನೋಡಿ, ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡು. ಇದೆಯಾ? ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಭಾರತ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದನೇ ಈ ಥರ ದುರಂಕಾರ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ಬಂದಿರೋದು. ಇದಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಯಾರೋ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಆ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನಾವು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವಾಗ ವಿಜಯಕುಮಾರ್ ಕಮಿಟಿಲಿ ಸುಮಾರಷ್ಟು ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಅವ್ರ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜೋರ ಬರಲಿ ಅಂದರೆ ನನಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರು, ನೀವು ಬರ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂತ. ನಾನು ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ? ಅದನ್ನ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಸಿ, ನಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದನೇ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿಲ್ಲ. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೈ ಜೋಡಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ನಾಳೆ ನೀವು ಅಲ್ಲೋಗಿ ಬ್ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಇದನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋ ಎನ್ಕ್ರೋಚ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಯಾವನು ಮುಟ್ಟೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಧೈರ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನೀವೇನೂ ಇರಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ನೀವು ಸೈಲೆಂಟಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಚೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಿಂತುಬಿಟ್ಟು, ದಿಸ್ ಲೇಕ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು ಅಸ್, ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನೋ ರೈಟ್ ಟು ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫೈ ಇಟ್. ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಟೆಲ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾವನೂ ಇದು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಪೈನಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಇರೋ ಯುವಕರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ಯುವತಿಯರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹಿಂಗಲ್ಲ ಹೀಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. That is the good. See, you should keep in mind every action of yours will help in improving the surrounding environment. When the surrounding environment is improved, your children are benefited. Not only you, your children are benefited. See, giving help to your children is more important, okay? See, money doesn't matter. Health is more important. That's what you have to understand. Today, people who looted and earned, they have become cancer patients in Bangalore. And the children are not taking care of them. You know, I come across a person who just retired from the government service having cancer. He says, sir, what mistake I did? I made so much money for my children. They took money and they have forgotten me. Today I am like you, I am, but additionally I have cancer, he said. I said, cancer you got it because of the sin you committed. Had you listened to us, our criticism, you wouldn't have got cancer. See that I agree with you. See, but that is the late stage realization. We need to tell them now. So please make sure when you live, there is no contamination in the surrounding. You know, every student make up a decision now, then you will make sure the country is without pollutant. These politicians are also one kind of pollutant. Corrupt fellows, we have to remove them, okay? So that is where you have to be careful. Okay? Okay, I have one suggestion. What I spoke, please write it in your own language, send it to the press also. I would like to see such article so that many more can read. Children can write in Urdu, please convey this in Urdu. And Gulbarga Kannada, you please communicate whatever is possible. And those who have blog can do it. Those who have Face and Facebook can also do it there. Please do that, okay? So that message reaches the destination. Finally, make the country without pollution. Okay? That's what is required. So that your children will be safe. Okay?